Thank you for taking a few minutes to talk about the quadrant solving solution. In quadrant solving, what we've done is divided your business into 4 simple sections that allow you to divide and conquer the problems and challenges that you have. Our systems and processes helped me, Dylan Kramer, become a national top producer for a net branching firm for 3 years running. So let's talk a little bit about the processes. The first one, remember, is marketing. It's what we do to attract customers. And we're not going to talk in detail about that in this video, but we are going to talk in detail about our sales process. What do we do once the customer shows up? The final 2 processes in quadrant solving are your service experience. What do you do to create the opportunity for your customers to experience world-class service? And then your annuity solution. Once you've provided your service, how do you gain the opportunity to get them to come back and purchase more from you and at higher profit margins? All of these things are covered in quadrant solving. Today in this video we're going to focus on Q2, your perfect sales process. There are many steps, but if you take the time and discipline to master them, you too can become a top-notch executor in the mortgage business. The first one is an icebreaker. Icebreakers are absolutely critical. They're urgent because you have to take the time to get people to laugh. Too many mortgage people are so interested in sharing their knowledge and showcasing their basis and understanding of guidelines and rules and regulations, and so worried about getting people to give them their social security number in the first conversation that they don't take time to break the ice. Laugh a little. Here in Chicago, we talk about our lousy sports teams, which makes it really easy, or the weather. Just find some common ground, because as soon as you do that, you can move on to your rapport builders. Rapport builders are things that you share in common with your potential customer. You have kids? I have kids. You live in a house? I live in a house. You're victimized by the traffic in our town? So am I. All of these things help you build a common ground with your customer and allow them to become more at ease in working with you. Once you've gotten your rapport built, you want to ask some discovery questions. Only then should you be asking people about their current mortgage, its rate, its payments, other payments that they may have, or their fears and concerns that they may have in going into either a purchase transaction with a much larger mortgage or the challenges they're facing as a first-time buyer. But take time to discover what their challenges are. At this point in time, if you listen to the answers, customers will tell you how to sell them. The next step is your next urgent step. You have to create industry separation. What makes you so special? If you don't have a unique selling proposition that you articulate to your client at this point in time, you're not going to win the business. What is so special about working with you? When I talk to mortgage clients, what I tell them is, look, you're going to understand the numbers. You're going to understand and choose your mortgage. Does that make sense to you? And that's a winning, unique selling proposition for me. You have to determine what yours is and state it to the customer. Then we have to evaluate people's financial situation. Are they capable of doing what they want, what they declare they want to? This otherwise is known as the numbers pre-qualification. Can we get them where they want to be? Then we start to develop a solution. I use Mortgage Coach. More information can be found at mortgagecoach.com to help run the numbers so that we can determine whether they're buying or refinancing, which is the best way to go based on the numbers. We also use Mortgage Coach to present. This allows us to showcase the numbers that we're suggesting they take. We'll compare 15, 20, and 30-year mortgage solutions next to each other to help people understand the difference between each options and the trade-offs that they'll be making. This allows us to be more effective in the amount of people that we close because we're providing information. And that's how we win the business. This is when we go to close. And only once you've done all of these previous parts should you be having a closing conversation about the numbers that you've presented in the development of your solution and the presentation of your solution. Then you can win the business. Send your good faith estimate, get that paperwork approved, and move them into your pipeline. The first thing we do when we move people into our pipeline is the continuation sheet. And no matter what business you're in, a continuation sheet that allows you to gather information about the other professionals that your client is working with is critical. It's critical to develop referrals. It's critical to develop the opportunity to ensure you don't lose the business because the realtor, attorney, financial planner, or human resources professional refers them to somebody else after you have that conversation. Once you've got the continuation sheet finished, you move them into your software. Whether you use Point, Encompass, a web-based solution, or some other option, you have to have a system to onboard them into your software. And then once you get the documents back, it's time to survey those customers and ask them for the first referral. Remember, set the expectation that you will be asking for introductions to friends, family, and colleagues who would benefit from working in a mortgage system just like they did, that will allow you to get those introductions warmly made throughout the loan process. When you apply the quadrant solving process to your mortgage practice, you become technically proficient. What that means is you're not relying on your personality to do the selling. You start selling via the system. When the system gets you better results, you'll understand how critical it is to make sure that every single borrower you come across goes through this process. Thanks for taking 6 minutes here to watch the quadrant solving training video about Q2, your sales process. Thanks so much and have a great day.